According to a study done by the Gallup organization, the proportion of Americans who are satisfied with the way things are going in their lives is 0.82. Suppose a random sample of 100 Americans is asked, "Are you satisfied with the way things are going in your life? Describe the sampling distribution of p hat, the proportion of Americans who are satisfied with the way things are going in their life." So to describe the sampling distribution, that means we need an average. So we need a mu p hat, and we need a sigma p hat. Mu p hat, simple, that's just the special characteristic they give us, that's just the p. So here, this is our special characteristic. So mu p hat is equal to 0.82. Our sigma p hat, it's that formula, so the square root of p times 1 minus p over n. We replace these letters with the values, so we're going to have 0.82, 1 minus 0.82, divided by n. So now n is given to us. It says a sample of 100, so n is equal to 100. And then we plug that into our calculator, and we're going to get the standard deviation. So square root 0.82 times 1 minus 0.82 divided by 100 gives you 0.0384. So our mu is equal to 0.0384. So that describes our sampling distribution for this sampling proportion for this problem. We have the mu p hat 0.82, we have our sigma p hat 0.034. B. In the sample obtained in part A, what is the probability that the proportion who are satisfied with the way things are going in their lives exceeds 0.85? So exceeds 0.85. If we're talking about that, we're saying this idea here is greater than or equal to 0.85. If we are greater than or equal to, if we're greater than or equal to, we're talking about something to the right. So when we do our normal CDF, we have to shift our upper bound and lower bound numbers. So our lower bound number is going to be what we start with, and our upper bound number is going to be that giant E, our giant 1. So second vars, normal CDF, 0.85, 1E99, our average, 0.82, and then our standard deviation, which is 0.0384. Hit enter, and there's our probability. So our probability is 0.217. This is equal to 0.217. There's your probability that you would find somebody who exceeds 0.85. Would it be unusual for a survey of 100 Americans to reveal that 75 or fewer are satisfied with the way things are going in their life? Why? So this problem, we're starting out with the idea of x. We need to find x less than or equal to 75. Right? They give us a big number. 75 is gigantic compared to these little decimals that we're dealing with. So what we have to do, we have to turn x into a p hat. To do that, p hat is equal to x divided by n. So that's 75 divided by 100, which is 0.75. So now, fewer than 0.75. Again, the normal curve, 0.75. Fewer is everything to the left. Alright, so that's less than. So then we're going to do negative 1e to the 99 up to 0.75. and see what we get. Calculator. Second bars, normal CDF, -1 E99.75, our average 0.82, our standard deviation 0.0384. And we're going to hit enter. And our probability we come up with is 0.0342. 0.0342. That's the probability. Right? So then the question, would it be unusual? So I have to answer the question completely. Would it be unusual? Yes, it would be unusual. Usual. Because the probability is so low, right? Anything less than 10%, 0.1, is going to be unusual in this class. So yes, it's unusual because the probability is 0.0342.